Welcome to Driving Immersion. This is the immersive racing experience. Studio 397's Le Mans Ultimate is the best detailed simulation of the World Endurance Championship. We are racing in Le Mans Ultimate using as much of its simulation factors to be as close to endurance racing as possible. We drive from the cockpit using a Fanatec CS LDD Plus wheel and load cell pedal set, without any assists except for what exists in the car. There are collisions and damage, tire wear and fuel use, including virtual energy. Give us a like and click on subscribe now so that you don't miss out on any of it. Volume up and let's go. We start a new race series at the Circuit de la Sarthe in the World Endurance Championship. We are driving the Alpine A424 built by Orca, powered by a 3.4-liter V6 turbo hybrid power plant, producing 675 horsepower, and it weighs just 1,030 kilograms. We chose to drive this car because the Alpine will be exiting the World Endurance Championship after 2026. Can we bring them a win at Le Mans finally? We join the race at the completion of our formation lap. We are starting at the very back of the hypercar field. You've got a couple of the Aston Martins just ahead of us, and just ahead of them we can just see a Toyota. Can't tell which one that is. I believe that is the number 8. And then to the left of him, a Genesis with another Genesis in front of him. And as you can see here, it is a very rainy start. It is actually full rain. And in the remaining field, you can see the LMP2s as well as the LMGT3s. And there are just about 63 cars in the race for this Le Mans of 2026. For this race with the Alpine at Le Mans, we have compressed the race, the 24-hour race, into just 8 hours of racing, but we will go through full daylight change, and we do expect to be driving into the night as long as we can keep the car together and racing around the circuit. So if this is your first time joining the channel, we have actually run a 24 hours of Le Mans in the 2025 season, and you can look at that on our channel. We had a problem with Le Mans Ultimate in that the attrition rate was very high, and we are seeking to see if they have fixed that here in 2026 with all the current updates, and hopefully we can have a larger field of race cars on track at the end.
Green flag.
There we are, race is underway. Again, here is the full field of hypercars, LMP2s, and then the LMGT3s. At the very back, we can see a lot of cars jostling to get into turn number 2 here to the left, and a very swift turn to the right for turn number 3.
Very slow to start here.
As you can see there, the Dunlop Bridge is now the Goodyear Bridge.
Very slippery next. Careful. Struggling with the car right now.
Currently in 11th place before we get to Tetra Rouge. We are battling our teammate there in the number 35. Again, we are in the number 36 Alpine. So both Alpines nose to tail right now down the Mulsanne Straight. Brake very hard. In the wet into the first of the 2 chicanes on the Mulsanne Straight. We are now behind the Genesis. The Genesis, both cars have actually been doing very well this season.
We are up tonight.
And as their first year effort, we do expect that they will have problems along the way. But as you can see right now, up to speed. There is the Toyota, I believe that is the number 7.
Oh, got hit from behind. That is
And a very big hit from our teammate. He was very far back in the field, and it just didn't seem like he could stop in the wet. So
Rear tire. I think
spun
that was
around
my
in the
teammate
number
that did it.
36.
He's also got damage.
Recovering as fast as we can. We are now back into the LMP2 field. A quick look at the HUD on the lower right. We have right rear tire problems. Also broken suspension parts in 3 corners, front right and both of the rears, as a result of that big hit from our teammate. The right rear is now flashing. We don't know quite what that means, if it's flat or if it's deflated in some level. But we have signaled to the pits that we are coming in for repairs at the end of this lap. The first lap of the race.
Big check up there from the LMP2. Almost ran into the back of him. So the car actually runs fine. It does show that it has 0% life on the right rear, and it may indicate a flat. No. Yeah, I don't apologize. I believe that right rear not provide braking power. Flat.
Yeah, seemingly no braking power out of the right rear, and we overran the turn into the entrance of the Porsche S's. Another spin here for the number 36.
I'm in travel. Come on.
And obviously that's going to mean more damage to the car. Right now, just trying to get the car back on track and pointed in the right direction. A very messy first lap here for the Alpine, number 36.
No GT3s yet.
And a view from above, we are now struggling just to get back to the pit lane as we limp in. A lot of damage to the car, all 4 corners at this point, including the front and rear bumpers at some level. Right now, at this point in time with Le Mans Ultimate, not a lot of damage is shown visually on the car. We do have experience with wheels coming off and not appearing at all, so missing wheels do occur here at Le Mans Ultimate.
Sorry for that.
Coming into our pits, we do expect that this is going to be a long pit stop. A lot of repair on the car. I think it was a total of 3 spins altogether, and hitting the barrier on all of those spins. There we are, a total of 91 seconds, 50 seconds of that just for the repairs. We are going to put on new tires and recharge the virtual energy before we come out of the pits. We can see one of the Mustang GT3s also coming into the pits and exiting. I believe there's another car coming in. Can't quite tell if that was a prototype. Here is the number 12 Cadillac, currently in 15th place. That is the car that is on track just ahead of us. And that car was one of the LMP2s. There's another GT3 just coming in. As this is the first lap, we expect that those are for damage or crashes on the track on this first lap. There's the LMP2. Perhaps just a change of tires. There we are, all finished with repairs and out of the pits. In this version of Le Mans Ultimate, we do have flat spotting as a result of locking up the tires in heavy braking, and that will cause a very heavy vibration in the steering wheel and also reduce your ability to brake and increase the propensity for more flat spots on the same tire or the other tires. Here is the Corvette. Again, new tires here on the number 36, so we are waiting patiently behind for a clear chance to pass. These tires are cold. There are no tire warmers in the World Endurance Championship, so they come out ambient temperature. There we are. Out of Tetra Rouge, they are now up to 81 degrees Fahrenheit and getting warmer as we increase speed here down the Mulsanne Straight. This is the beginning of our second lap. And right now we are 1 minute and 44 seconds behind P15. And that is the 009 Aston Martin. So again, a very messy first lap here for the number 36 Alpine. But it's a very long race. And Le Mans is a race of attrition, so even though we are pretty far back right now in the Alpine at the beginning, it's very possible that we could possibly make our way up to the front. Very big lock up there. Can't quite tell which tire it is as we look at the temperatures. Now we didn't. Still a little too early to be putting on full force and depending on these tires too much. So if you've noticed there, we did spin the tires to rotate the car around. We started off on the grass on the right apron of the track. And here in Le Mans Ultimate right now in this version, if you spin the tires on the grass, you will overheat the tires, which is actually very different from what happens when you, well, it's similar to what happens when you spin the tires on the asphalt or the tarmac, but it shouldn't happen that way on the grass. Something to fix here for the group at Studio 397. Back underway on the Indianapolis Straight. We are just about to arrive at Indianapolis Corner. Here to the right. And to the left. Very slow here, second gear. And you absolutely need to slow the car down or have superhuman grip. And we didn't have either one of those on that time around. Currently in the lead, the number 50 Ferrari of Antonio Fuoco. We are watching the number 36 Alpine of Mars Medina. Exiting the Porsche curves. That is the pit entrance to the right there, and now this is the Ford curves, or Ford S's. Back through the start-finish line and down the main straight.
Not right now.
Out of Tetra Rouge, down the Mulsanne straight with the number 36. Now we didn't qualify very well for the race as we had a couple of crash outs during qualification. The conditions were dry, however. So driving here in the rain with a dry setup, we need to drive very carefully and keep the car in one piece. And through the first chicane on the straight, this is the number 20 BMW just ahead of us on the track. Leader of the race so far, the number 50 Ferrari. Just behind him, about 5 seconds, the number 51 Ferrari, with the number 83 Ferrari in yellow here in third place. Very close together. Out of Tetra Rouge is the 83 going to be able to get around the 51. A very good draft here, but not enough room to pass as the 51 is going to take the racing line coming into the first chicane. No reason to take any risks here for the number 83. Again, it is a long race. Working our way down the field, we saw the number 7 Toyota of Conway, and now the 17 Genesis, the number 8 Toyota, currently stuck in the gravel right now. And let's see if he can get that going. There is another car with him on a spin. That is the number 23, I believe, Aston Martin in the LMGT3. Looks like the number 8 has a steering problem as he clips the barrier on the exit of the gravel trap. Back to the number 36, another spin in the wet and through the gravel track. Let's try not to hit anything. Taking the escape route. Spinning once again. And this is the, I believe, the exit out of the Porsche S's. So the track continues to be very slippery here as it continues to rain steadily and heavily. You can see here with the tire spray from the cars. And no damage from the last spin here on the number 36, so we are going to continue on with this lap, coming in through 32 and 33 here to finish the lap. There is the start-finish line here at the Circuit de la Sarthe. So a very, very slow lap, 4:29.504. And actually that is our fastest lap right now, as it is one of 2 laps that we have not come into the pits. So we've already been into the pits twice with the number 36 in just 4 laps. Right now coming up to the BMW number 20, I believe he's also having struggles in the early part of this race. So these 2 cars are actually racing right now for position. there we are, making our way around the BMW in traffic. I believe he kind of outbraked himself on the entrance there into the first chicane. Now a number of maybe 5 or 6 car lengths behind. And after a couple of lengthy pit stops here with the number 36, we are caught up to the back of the LMGT3 field. Now we still need to be careful getting around them, as it is still very slippery. The very slow Mulsanne corner. And right now, again with this heavy rain, we are going to struggle for a grip out of the exit. Right now, I believe we have our traction control very high. I believe that is 10. Out of 11. A quick look down the pit lane, we see that one of the Peugeots is in, and that is the number 94 of Luc Duval. And it doesn't look like a retirement, looks like they may be working on the car. I believe that is the number 20 BMW once again. Yes, it is. And it looks like a spin. I can't quite tell. I believe that will be Arnage. Again, also a very slow right-hander. And very hard braking into the entrance. There's the Peugeot still in the pits. And if you saw very briefly, the rear wing flashed on or appeared on the car, so it's very possible that he was in for damage on the track, possibly knocking off the rear wing here on the Peugeot. And that was the cause of the lengthy pit stop. There is a pirouette with the number 24 LMP2. Heavy traffic here. And looking down the field, a couple of the Cadillacs together on the lap. There is the number 7 Toyota of Mike Conway, currently in 4th place with 3 Ferraris in front. And it looks like the number 83 here got ahead of the number 50. The number 83, the yellow car that you see there, the yellow Ferrari.
A very treacherous place to pass. Not going to take risk.
Yeah, still very early in the race. No need to take risks. Behind the wheel of the number 36. As we enter the second chicane down the Mulsanne Straight. Now between the two chicanes, oh, there is a car stopped on the track there. I believe that is the Mercedes LMGT3. But between the two chicanes, the first one has a more critical entrance, the second one has a more critical exit. The sweeping right into the Mulsanne corner here, again very slow. Right now a clear track for the 36 as we come into Indianapolis. A banked left-hander here. There we are, a spin out of Arnage. And you want to be very careful about rotating the car with spinning the wheels, as it is going to heat up the rear tires. We do have the temperature available on the steering wheel. It is the...
Don't know why.
I believe the 78 degrees there below the gear indicator. The number directly below the gear indicator is the speed on the track. Then we have our brake temperatures on the upper part of the floor boxes.
Yep.
And then for the rear brakes, the lower part of the lower two boxes. So 61, 57, 71, and 68, those are our tire temperatures. And those are in degrees Celsius. In the options of Le Mans Ultimate, you can change your temperature readings to display Fahrenheit or Celsius. However, the readings that you get from the steering wheels of all of these cars, as far as we know, are going to be in Celsius. Looking at the leaders once again, that is Mike Conway again in the number 7 Toyota, currently in 4th place. And I believe we are in the Porsche S's. And going through the field here to take a roll call to see who's still racing. Looks like both Genesis and Aston Martin still on track. Both Cadillacs still on track. There is one of the Cadillacs. Right now facing nose first into the barrier, and again I believe that is Arnage.
Not
Another spin by the number 36. And that looks like the exit out of the first chicane.
damage.
And that is our teammate racing with one of the LMP2s. Back to Mars Medina in the number 36 Alpine. Out of the second chicane. out of the Mulsanne corner. Here is the number 20 BMW exiting the pits once again. Also having trouble with the very start of this race. Currently behind the number 36. We can see also another BMW currently in the pits, and I believe that is Dries Ventura. He is 5 laps behind. I believe that car is retired at this point. And he may be the first retirement here in the hypercar field. We're actually eager to see how Studio 397 and Le Mans Ultimate have handled attrition here in an endurance race. Picking the right time here to get around the Corvette.
Wow, what happened?
Another spin in the number 36. Still making a lot of mistakes around the track. The car on wet tires is actually not that difficult to drive. You do have to drive about 1 gear lower to lower your speed in the curves or the turns. But right now I believe we are so far back we are kind of desperate to drive quickly around the track. So we need to slow down and drive carefully. All of these pit stops to make repairs on the car are taking a long time and costing us a lot of time. Now we do have full damage activated here this time around in Le Mans. So you may see us and the rest of the field pitting often, especially with the current weather conditions. There we are, taking the necessary time and care to slow down into the chicane.
Might have been a drift, I guess. Well,
so behind the wheel of the number 36, you can see there that our steering wheel is a little bit askew. And turn to the right, we may have damage on the car.
why?
Almost saved it. Again, continues to be very slippery here in Le Mans. A big strike there from behind on the one of the LMP2s. I think one more accident or one more touch of the barrier is going to bring us back into the pits again. Here is the number 20 back into the pits. There is one of the Toyotas in the garage. That is the number 8. That is a retired car now. So 2 cars retired, the BMW and Sebastian Buemi in the number 8 Toyota.
What do you get for it?
Did get a close look at what damage there might be on the car. Looks like a Cadillac spun out there in the middle of the track. The number 20 back on course. Here is the Peugeot of Paul di Resta, the number 93. And it looks like they may be just doing work on the car. So we do expect him to return back onto the track. There is the number 38 Cadillac, and I believe he is the one that was spun in the gravel of one of the chicanes. So let's see if he's able to make it back. Yes, he is. Down on the jacks and back on the concrete. The number 36 up to 12th place here with all the pit stops that have recently occurred. So very much still in the race. There is one of the BMWs. Couldn't tell if that is the one. The number 20 once again. So yes, there is damage here in the number 36, the front right of the suspension along with the bumpers front and rear.
Survived the rain, didn't fall in the car.
Into Indianapolis with the number 36. A spin here again for the number 36, just entering Arnage.
Robert. Did break very early to the top.
We are currently nose to tail with the number 83 Ferrari. He is one lap ahead of us at this point, and he may be coming in. Nope, not this time around, as we see another LMP2 spun out And I believe there may be a very slippery area there on the entrance to the pits. We've seen a number of cars spun and parked there in the gravel. Nose to nose with the number 83 of Robert Kubica, the number 83 Ferrari, as we cross the start-finish line, coming into turn 1. And we're going to be able to get ahead of him into turn 2 here.
That is our team. What did I do earlier? Stay out of the way of Robert.
That is our teammate just ahead of us here. And a spin once again for the number 36. And it's very possible that we may just have been accelerating a little too hard on the exit of that turn. And right now it looks like we may be beached. You can see here our rear tires are spinning. Searching for grip here. Nudged up against the barrier there to the left of the car. And right now, there is a little bit of an incline here. And we're facing it, so we need to go into reverse and see if we can use the slope to get the car off of the grass. We are beached right now, doing everything we can. And once again, if you are spinning your tires on the grass, they will overheat. There we are. We finally got back onto the tarmac. Let's see what we can do with the rest of the race. We're going to correct the direction of the car. You can see there the rear tires are in red. They are very hot at this point. Spinning them again to rotate the car into the correct direction. We need to get back into the cockpit to see how warm they are. Another spin here. And we actually hit the barrier with our rear end. Another one of those, and we will be coming in once again. So a little peculiar that the tires will actually get hot from spinning on wet grass. But that did overheat our rear tires.
On my rear tires. Spinning around again. Still hot.
So there's the damage, and you can see there with just that little bit of spinning the tires in the rear immediately become overheated. Right now they are 350 degrees, 370 on the right rear, very, very hot. And we need to drive carefully here and accelerate out until they cool. They do appear green on the HUD there to the lower right, but the HUD on the left indicates they are still about 345 degrees. And so from here on, we are going to have to manage the temperature on those rear tires. And aside from that little tweak on the steering wheel, there's not much damage on the car right now. So if we could just cool these tires, and nothing we are doing right now is working to cool them. Even with this rain, they are not cooling fast enough. You can see there that another LMP2 is parked in the chicane. That is the Mulsanne corner. And even in braking, the rear tires don't have a lot of grip. And so we
Those
definitely
rear tires are still that hot.
overran the turn, and now we've got damage to our front
we
left.
lost our
The left front is reading
tire.
0%, so it must be deflated. It
Long
is
way.
flashing on the graphics on the lower right of your screen. But right now there is so much damage that the steering wheel is turned to the left. One of the Ferraris flashing by as we have to keep our speed low. We are currently driving in second gear, trying to make our way into Indianapolis. The car is badly damaged. Now we need to get an exterior shot to see if the tire is still there. The wheel is still there. And that is Indianapolis to the left. .77 miles per hour in second gear with a flat left front tire, broken suspension in both of the front corners, trying to break into the entrance of the Porsche S's. Right now our concern is staying out of the way and keeping the car circulating the track until we can get into pit lane, which is not too far away now. There is one of the Cadillacs, I believe that is the number 12 in the garage. That means retirement. So 3 hypercars now retired. And there is the 36 with very little steering capabilities, trying to make his way into the pit lane. Right now we got to bring our speed down to 37 miles an hour or 60 kilometers per hour. And so with a lot of damage on the car, this may be another long pit stop. There is the damage on the car. Again, 0% on the left front. And again, these are wet tires. We're going to replace the tires. Obviously, fix any damage, which is going to be 117 seconds. And a total of 153, including the virtual energy. So again, a very long pit stop here for the number 36. The Ferrari's still in the lead. We've got our teammate currently in 10th place on the track.
Well, that was a very percent. A lot of damage on the car. You mentioned before. Car damage. Front rear bumper. Knobs going about 100 seconds. Yards up. And change tires. What? And 14.1 laps of fuel. 13 laps of energy. So, save just a little bit. It may save a lot of time. That next distance, stretch
Yeah, so a quite eventful first hour of the race. Actually, there's still 49 minutes left, and this is our third time in the pits for major repairs. You can see there once again that we are spending 153 seconds, 3 suspensions broken, and the front and rear bumpers or valances on this car also need to be replaced or repaired. So we are waiting for all of that. About 40 seconds left here for this pit stop, and then we will be back on the track. It continues to rain at a steady rate. The tarmac is very wet and holding a lot of water. There's puddles, as you can see here in the pit lane. And I believe coming around, that is our teammate in the number 35.
There goes teammate, short stop.
And right now, I believe we are one lap ahead of him, so
The other car is
passing us in the pit lane did not bring us down in the standings. We continue to be in 13th place. 2 minutes and just about 30 seconds behind 12th place, so a very long ways back.
Not full load of fuel is needed. Right now we are so far behind, can't count on those things.
So yes,
That's
the
another
wet
two.
weather conditions here are really adding to the challenge in this race. But we are going to keep circling the track here, and when the weather breaks, and it will, hopefully we'll have the right setup for this race at Le Mans. Again, this is going to be
Still a very, very wet track. And it does continue to rain, so it may well be like that for a while.
Here is the number 20 BMW into the pits again, struggling on the track just as we are. And having a quick look around here, this is Antonio Fuoco in the number 50 Ferrari, currently in 9th place. He has fallen back quite a ways within the last, I would say, about 5 to 7 laps.
Still overrun.
So in the pits once again, and we're going to start to monitor the cars as they come in. Back to the number 36. I believe we are on the Mulsanne straight now.
Now we have set our fuel savings target to 2 extra laps. I don't believe we're going to get there. Need to get to 14. With a little bit of virtual energy to spare.
Having made it around the LMP2 here, coming into the Mulsanne corner, he's going to get his place back. Obviously, we've got fresh tires on this car, and we are still waiting for them to come up to temperature. So no point taking any risks. The car is 100% right now. Everything has been fixed. And we really need to put in some good laps. There is a flashing yellow there coming into Indianapolis.
The yellow here. And we can't quite see what it is. Oh, there's our teammate.
That is our teammate in the number 35.
Wheels off track.
And looking back, looks like he's been able to get back underway. Again, we are trying to make sure that
1 full lap ahead of us.
Le Mans Ultimate has fixed the rate of attrition. We have done a 24 hours of Le Mans in the Toyota on this channel, and you can see it in its entirety at Driving Immersion. And at the end of the race, there were 2 cars left. Many of the other cars retiring in the night with just 4 cars with a full day of racing left to go. So it wasn't very exciting. However, we still had to work to finish the race. Now hopefully this time around, just about 8 or 9 months later, we'll have a more full grid here with the hypercars, LMP2s, and the GT3s. There are a lot of cars retiring as a result of the weather. Obviously, when it's wet and slippery, there are more chances and the higher probability for crashing out of the race. Turn 2 here in the number 36, turn 3 to the right. And we are going to go under what used to be the Dunlap Bridge, now sponsored by Goodyear. Still driving very carefully here as we enter Tetra Rouge.
Just kind of out past the frame.
Right now we are driving about 75 to 80% of the car's speed. And that's what we're going to have to do to keep it in one piece. We have fuel savings programmed into the car right now. We're trying to get 2 extra laps on that fill of fuel and recharge of virtual energy.
6.63% of virtual energy on each lap. That last lap, when we were saving, we got to 6.74. Not too bad.
Now, with the weather conditions and all the spinning around and crashing into the barriers and other cars, not just us, but all the other cars as well, we haven't been really paying attention to energy and fuel savings to extend the stint. I believe once the weather clears and we are able to travel at a faster rate with more grip on the tarmac, we'll start to consider saving fuel. But again, we did try to see what it would take to get a couple of extra laps. And again, there you can see that it takes 6.63% of virtual energy use on each lap. On the last lap, we used 6.74, which is also our average on this stint. So really not too far away, just requires a little bit more savings. And it's actually not a bad idea as we are not able to travel at full speed anyway. And there you see it, one of the Ferraris coming out of the pits. That is, again, the number 50 of Antonio Fuoco. So I believe he's done 2 laps and a pit stop in each lap. There's
just not very visible.
Got to be some trouble with the car on the outside. Obviously, it's not visible. And hopefully they'll be able to straighten that out. He currently runs in 8th place. Here is the number 36 once again, and the a little hit on the Corvette there, and the Corvette goes around. And I believe that was a matter of having zagged when he should have zigged. Couldn't quite tell who was at fault there. The number 36, obviously a faster vehicle on the course. And now we have damage on the front as well as the side barge of the vehicle. Again, the damage model here in Le Mans Ultimate is just not there yet. We do see a few scuffs in the paint on the fenders as we are looking on from the cockpit, and I think Le Mans Ultimate or 3D Studio 397.
More fuel on that. Fast lap, 6.82.
Studio 397 is using as an indicator that there is damage on the car. So that last lap, as we are trying to save fuel, actually cost us more fuel. Again, there are puddles all around the course. And here in Le Mans Ultimate, there's no negative effects of running through the puddles. You don't really feel it in the car. Down the Mulsanne straight with the number 36. If you're enjoying the race so far, don't forget to give us a like and click on subscribe. And that way you can keep up with the rest of the series and the other race series that we have. Again, here at Driving Immersion, we drive full-length races. We race in Formula 1, Le Mans Ultimate, and just very recently, we've added a lot of content from Automobilista 2, which is a very, very good sim if you want to try it. It has a lot of cars in the classic and former F1 configurations. I think the only thing it's lacking is the number of Formula 1 tracks that are current in today's F1 circuits. However, AMS2 does feel really well behind the wheel. And the graphics are definitely up to par, if not better than some others.
So that is our first full hour of this race.
So we do suggest giving it a try, but you can see some of the racing here on Le Mans Ultimate and Automobilista 2 at Driving Immersion. We will have F1 2026 coming soon.
Ferrari has just put on a fast lap. The gravel.
Very wide at Indianapolis. Two wheels on the gravel. Here is the number 50 again. Into the pits. So coming into pit quite often here. We did see that in our previous Le Mans, which was again a previous version of Le Mans Ultimate, where we had cars come in every time they circled the track, seemingly for repairs, and then eventually retiring. Unfortunately, there's no way of knowing what they repaired or what the damage is.
Braked a little bit too late.
And cause for these frequent pit stops of the AI or the other cars on the course. Exiting the Porsche S's here in the number 36. There is Antonio Fuoco back on course under the Goodyear Bridge. There is the number 36, totally out of control through 31 and 32. This is 33. Through the start-finish line. We did see him hit the wall. And there may be minor damage in the car right now, but it's not affecting its drivability. Quick look again. Still quite a lot of tire spray from the wet circuit, or wet tarmac. So it is still pretty slippery here. We do expect the rain to end sometime soon. I think it is only 20% of the race time, so we will expect to start seeing a drying track. There is the Cadillac coming out of the pits. That is the...
Still a lot of understeer.
I believe the number 38. Yes, the number 38. So 13 hypercars left on the course, and we are just over 1 hour
We have not been able to get our
3 minutes into
where we wanted to be.
this 8-hour race. Our time scale is made to make up for a full 24 hours. So again, we will start to see a sunset and a sunrise as well within this 8-hour race. Right now, looking at the map on the left side of your screen, we have a very clear track behind the number 36. Now we do have a couple of other cars here, including a hypercar just in front of us as we exit the Mulsanne corner. Carefully through Indianapolis, this time under control.
Yellow.
Oh, there is the BMW, I believe the number 20 on the exit of Arnage. He's backing up and hopefully he can get the car back on the course. Looks like it.
BMW.
So at this point, he is one lap down of us.
Very late break. Oh. Get off the gravel. On the edge of grip.
Now we do have our teammate ahead of us in 10th place. He is currently in the pits. Oh, nearly a spin there.
Well, if you're about to spin and you just step on the brakes, it will usually save the spin. These curbs are really upsetting the car on this wet track. Okay, we're going slower. That was for 698. Nope, 702. Still using too much fuel, too much energy.
And yes, obviously we are not working very well to save fuel or energy here. And it may not be the time yet, as we are still pretty far behind the leaders of the field. We are having a look at one of the Genesis, both cars in 4th and 5th place, so they are having a very good premiere here at Le Mans. This is the Peugeot into the pits. The number 94. Here is the 36 going for a spin again. Oh, that is a hit on the barrier.
So now we've got damage in our rear bumper, I believe. Yep, bumper, not wing.
And I believe we are still very far
And
from pit entry.
Oh my god. Alright, so we are not making it here on time or on fuel.
Yes, the fuel saving strategy is not quite working out. We are actually ending up using a little bit more than we really need or want to. Coming in through the Mulsanne corner. Nope. That was the number 35. This is the 36. I believe we have overrun the chicane, the second chicane on the Mulsanne straight.
That is the Ferrari.
That is one of the Ferraris right there. And he is putting us another lap down. A big check up there from the Ferrari, and we catch right up to him and almost hit him from behind.
For no reason.
Don't know exactly what happened here. And if that is the number 50, it could be that Fuoco is having a lot of problems with the car. Another one of the Peugeots coming into the pit lane. That should be the number 93. And we need to cut back to the number 36 as he is dealing with the Ferrari number 50, I believe. And we are very curious to see how he's doing. For some reason, he slowed very quickly in one of the turns. Here he is again. We've caught right up to him, under the wing. Back to the pits. The Peugeot exits. 2 GT3s exiting as well. And did we get around the Ferrari? Yes, we did. The number 36 Alpine has gotten around the Ferrari. And that is the number 50 coming into the pits again. And he is really losing a lot of time here, Antonio Fuoco. In the number 50 Ferrari. They seem to be having a problem with the car that they are trying to correct. So I believe he has pitted each and every of the 4 laps, or most recent 4 laps. And again, that was a fault in the earlier versions of Le Mans Ultimate. Just about a year ago, we conducted a 24-hour race in the Toyota, and again we did that to test the race engine here at Le Mans Ultimate, and early attrition was one of the problems with the game engine, and there were a lot of cars coming into the pits,
Really a handful.
lap after lap, eventually leading to their retirement. But again, Antonio Fuoco into the pits once again, and it looks like he is out now. So that was a very quick pit. It's possible they may be having problems with tires, but there's no way to know here. Into the second chicane with the number 36. One of the things that we like about the Alpine is the exhaust note. A very racy sounding car. The Toyota with its turbo, a little bit too quiet. Now this Alpine does have a turbo, but it has a very good engine note. And it really does sound like a race car. Quick look at the HUD on the lower right. We do have damage on the car, not really affecting the drivability right now. And at this point, we are actually in 10th place. We have passed up our teammate. I believe we may have passed him while he was in the pit. The number 38 Cadillac also in the pits right now. Number 20 BMW a little bit further back. Very early in the race, he was struggling just as we were.
Very wide. Oh, oh. Broke our
Yes,
suspension.
very wide out of our nage, and we clipped the barrier just enough to really mess up our left front wheel. And now, as you saw there from the cockpit, our steering wheel is askew, and not by a little bit, but by quite a lot. And right now, the steerability of this car is going to be very difficult, as you see there. And this is just the entrance into the Porsche S's.
Clipped the barrier and broke our left front suspension.
A segment that we have to turn.
Car pulled to the left.
So right now we have actually signaled into the pits
And
to
we are
come in
coming
once
in
again. Now it's true that we are losing a lot of track time coming in for repairs. Every time we have an accident or every time we hit something in the car, we do have full damage turned on, but it is part of the race. And a lot of the other cars are having struggles as well. There is the Corvette facing the wrong way at the pit entrance. Looks like he's gotten it straight. And a red car coming into the pits once again. I believe that may be the number 50 Ferrari. Let's see if there is a red car coming into the pits. Now, it is not indicating for the Ferrari. That may actually be one of the magma-colored Genesis hypercars. Here is our strategy for this pit stop. We have 56 seconds required to repair the car. And right now, we are going to refuel completely. So a full tank or a full recharge of virtual energy with a fuel ratio of 93%. 14.9 gallons. And then we're going to get back to the track and continue the race. Again, it continues to rain, but as long as we keep circling here, we've actually had a very good spot on the grid right now. No need to change the tires. They are at 99%. Again, they're just about 3 laps old. There is our fuel. No change in aero. And a quick check on the repair. Make sure it's being done. And now the time starts.
Turn off the tires.
So while we are planning our pit stop, the timing of the race actually stops.
Damage.
Here at Le Mans Ultimate, a very good way to institute the pit stop and use some strategy. Before that was implemented, and believe it or not, it was not at the beginning or at the inception of Le Mans Ultimate. We would have to adjust our pit strategy while we were driving, and which made it very difficult. And as the driver, we don't normally decide on the strategy. That is done through the pit box and the pit crew. And as a driver, we just come in when they say, or when there's damage, we come in and have it fixed right away. So here on this pit stop, 90 seconds altogether to fix the left front suspension. Recharge. There is our teammate. And he is coming in and out of the pits a little bit as frequently, if not more frequently than we are. So we have to watch out for him. It's very possible that we may be looking at a retirement if that continues on. out of the pits, and we are going to beat the Genesis out of the pit lane. There is the number 83 Ferrari. He may be in second place right now. Yes, that red car there is the magma-colored Genesis, the new entry here in the World Endurance Championship for 2026. Car's actually doing pretty well. They've got their act put together.
We'll have to play the attrition game here
for this race in Le Mans. By the indicator on the barge boards, we are in 11th place. Three laps down of the leaders. There we are. We saw the second place, number 83 Ferrari of Robert Kubica just ahead of us here on the track. He is 3 laps ahead at this point. Number 36, we've been spending a lot of time coming in and out of the pits, repairing damage from crashes and spins. And hopefully that will abate once the track dries. There are a few areas here where you can see there is a dry line forming.
A little bit of a dry line coming out of the Alpine corner.
There we go. Entering into Indianapolis, we've got an LP2 just ahead of us. Still a lot of water on the tarmac out of Arnage. So it would appear as though the rain here at Le Mans is on the north side of the track. The south side, the rain has abated. Oh, flying by the number 83 there.
Big mess.
We missed our braking point.
Our teammate off again.
And there he is back ahead of the number 36. After the off-road excursion, we did see our teammate spun around at the pit entry. And hopefully he's not coming into the pits again. Yes, he is. Very wide here for the number 36 as we continue to race with the Ferrari that is 3 laps ahead. We really need to settle down and put in some consistent laps here. Racing with the Ferrari is not going to bring us forward. LMP2 here that we've got to clear, and we'll do that once we get on the straight. No need to take our risks before we get on the straight. So as you got to see there, the exit out of Tetra Rouge, we are taking that very, very wide right now. Again, there's not much grip as the track is wet. Quick look at the standings. It looks like our teammate is out of the pits now. And another spin here for the number 36.
Upset the car.
I'm wondering if we did hit the rumble strips there on the entry under heavy braking. It did bring the back end of the car around. So still a lot of standing water here on the tarmac coming into the Mulsanne corner. No, I think we've got just one more chicane, the second chicane to go through. Yep.
Drying up.
So as we head towards the northern part of the circuit, you can see there is more water on the track. It doesn't appear to be raining as heavily right now. We still have the windshield wipers going, so it continues to rain, but not as heavy. Here is the Genesis. Once again, the number 19 coming out of the pits. Is that the 50? Yes, it is the number 50 Ferrari coming in once again. So he is pitting quite a lot. They are having a problem with the car, obviously. And he is actually, I believe he is in 8th place right now. So he's still quite a ways ahead of the number 36, even with the numerous pit stops.
Still sliding out at Tetra Rouge. A lot of understeer through there.
There's our teammate once again. He is in the pits. Currently in the 11th place. He has lost his place on the circuit to the number 36 as he continues to be pitting. I believe that is 3 or 4 laps now that he has pitted each and every lap. Couple of cars spun here. That is the number 83. That is the 83 Ferrari of Robert Kubica. I believe he is in second place at the moment. Now, he was pretty stationary there at the chicane, but we are going to have to come around 3 times to pass him on the track. And that is just how far ahead they are. A lot of drying lines here at the southern end of the Circuit de la Sarthe.
The track is fairly dry here compared to the rest. It does continue to rain. Not as hard. And no, we are not saving fuel or energy. Make time. That is Paul di Resta in the Pico. This is a race.
So right now in 10th place, we do have a race with Paul di Resta in 9th place. Oh, I'm sorry, 9th and 8th. He is in 8th place. So we do have a race with him. We are just 0.8 seconds behind right now, and we have caught up to him very quickly. Wondering if he has got an issue with the car. We are coming around at the exit of the Porsche curves.
Didn't put up much of a fight. Lights coming in.
No, he did not put up a fight at all. And we are looking back to see if he is coming in. He may have an issue with the car again. There's no way of knowing what's happening with all of these cars. There he is. Just saw him very briefly in the very left of your screen. He is in pit lane. So again, the number 36 here, currently in 8th place. And if you could just put in some good consistent laps, you can actually move your way up the field, as there are a lot of spins and crashes right now with the current weather conditions. A very good look at the southern sky there shows the clouds definitely lightening. There we are. We are now pointing south. Now, by the sounds of it, it sounds like there is an LMP2 just ahead of us on the course. They do have a race that they are running as themselves. A couple of GT3s as well. Just exiting the picture there. Here is the Mulsanne corner.
That was so deep.
Pirouetting Indy number 36.
Off the wall, off the wall.
Hit the barrier here at Indianapolis. Quickly back underway, but let's have a look at the damage from the cockpit. Yes, the front and rear
Don't know what happened there.
bumpers are showing damage. The front more than the rear, as it is orange, the rear only being a yellow. I believe yellow is the first stage, orange is the second stage, red is the third, and if it's flashing, for example, the rear wing, if the rear wing is flashing red, it is missing. So no reason to come into the pits. We are going to continue on.
Stupid circuit around this on that spin.
Very careful there. There is another
There,
car
on the
island. The two chicanes that make up the forward curves are actually very treacherous. You are going very slow, but you are transferring weight to the left and right and back again in very quick fashion, as the car will struggle to get all the weight equally distributed at all four wheels. At that speed, we're not actually producing any downforce to be able to benefit from any grip, so it is all mechanical there for the last two chicanes. Something to consider when you are setting up the car. Also keep in mind that you cannot run over the big sausage curb inside of the chicanes. Now it continues to rain. It's definitely a lot less, and it looks like there's just a little bit less tire spray, and there's more of a drying line even here on the northern part of the Mulsanne Strait. Having a look around the field once again, this is the Genesis, currently in 5th place, in for a pit stop. Down and out again. It looks like he's got wet tires on as well. The number 50 Ferrari coming in, still running on course. He is in 7th place.
So far we are nearly on schedule on this map.
So right now, as we approach the Mulsanne corner, there's a car in there. And obviously we were just not paying attention. We were looking out for the car to see if it would move.
On fire.
We turned just a little bit too tight with a little too much speed, ran over the curb, everything going wrong at once, and we spun. Back to the number 50 Ferrari, that is the 83 just ahead of him. Now they are on different laps.
Indianapolis.
So Antonio
Starting to
Fulco
dry out.
continues on with the race. Definitely looking like a drying track.
You don't want to
Still
put
a
that.
Still a little bit slippery and running wide. Again, at the exit of Arnage, that barrier there on the left will knock your wheel off if you hit it hard enough. Certainly damaged our suspension just a couple of laps ago, resulting in a unscheduled pit stop, taking up a lot of time for repair. The number 36 here, driven by Mars Medina, currently in 8th place. I believe there are 14 or 13 cars, hypercars left in the race. There have been a couple of retirements, including one of the Aston Martins, Sebastian Buemi in the number 8 Toyota, and I believe one of the BMWs. Not the number 20, because that's still going around.
This part of the track looks dry. Fairly dry. Oh, Bristol spray. And once again, set for Rouge.
There is the number 36 coming into the first chicane on the Mulsanne Straight. One of the Cadillacs, I believe that is the number 38 in the pits. Down and out. That looks like the number 20 BMW, again continuing to race. Now, quick look at the retirements here again. Oh, Dries Van Thur, Sebastian Buemi. Oh, that is the number 17 Cadillac.
Did brake a little hard.
That is out.
That time around. Still on track.
Very carefully through there, as we are still trying to gauge the grip. The number 7 Toyota of Mike Conway just behind us on the course. He is a couple of laps ahead of us at this point.
Very easy once again to get a flat spot.
And I believe he continues on the lead lap. So something to note if you are driving in Le Mans Ultimate or any other sim game, sim racing game.
Oh, overtook it.
You should have another.
See what where I got there.
Arnage is a very difficult corner to take at speed. Shouldn't take it
Toyota.
fast in the rain. So yes,
Mike Conway, he
in
is in third place.
any sim racing
Yeah,
platform
one of the Ferraris.
with a very good force feedback system, you'll want to turn up the force feedback energy or power on your steering wheel, because that will help you judge when the vehicle is actually understeering or oversteering with the yaw. And the more that you feel it, the faster that you can react, and you can sometimes catch it from spinning.
Got our teammate spinning again. Yes.
Yes, I believe that was our teammate stuck on the island again at the pit entry. Having a look at the Genesis, our teammate has not made it in yet. That is the Ferrari. I hope they weren't backing up to park it. So there is Mike Conway and our teammate coming into the pits. And we are looking here for any retirements. There's Buemi, NATO,
NATO Rouge, or Pepper Rouge. We are now up to 7.
Mike Conway back underway, and so is our teammate. Now the Toyota looking very dingy from this running in the rain. He's actually had a very good race so far. Again, he is currently on the lead lap. Back to Mars Medina and the number 36, currently in 7th place as the pit stop shakedown. Having a look at Paul di Resta and the Peugeot into the pits. Currently in 8th place.
In quite some time, I think. No pitch, there's one up there now.
Going for another spin here at Arnage. In the number 36. We cut away to the Genesis. Number 19, I believe, and he is back on his way. And right now, as he exits, they may be running nose to tail, both Genesis. This is the Peugeot of Paul di Resta coming out of the pits. There's the 83 Ferrari in the pits, the number 50 Ferrari coming in. So it's likely these may be scheduled pit stops, as a number of the hypercars are coming in. Now this car, the number 50, has been coming in and out of the pits regularly for the last 5 or 6, maybe even 7 laps, losing a lot of time in places on the course. Back on track. Good to see that he is still running. They may be having problems with the car. Hopefully they can straighten it out.
Definitely we are going to finish off the stint with this set of wets.
Now with all the stops that the number 50 has been making in the pits, we have caught up to him. Right now I believe we are racing with him.
By the start of the next stint.
Yes, the track is obviously drying. We still do see tire spray.
Ferrari's
a big slide there from the number 50. And we're going to get right underneath him into Tete Rouge. If he did put on a set of new tires, it's very possible that they may not be up to temperature yet, and that's why that was very easy to pass him.
If the steering wheel gets light on that right-hand entry into the chicane, you're going to flick the steering wheel to the left just to catch the fin.
On board with the number 50 Ferrari of Antonio
Why?
Fuoco. The 36 going around there at the exit of the second chicane, still spinning, trying to regain control. Again, the rear tires overheat very easily right now with the tire model.
That bump
The
in the back.
51 Ferrari right behind us. Now the 51, I believe, is on the lead lap.
Another
And he
big
is
bump.
going to bump us
Wow.
very hard.
Flying into the barrier.
This is the Mulsanne corner. That's definitely going to cause damage. Let's have a look here.
And I think the Ferrari's going to drive away.
Yep,
That is big damage.
the steering wheel is way off. Turn to the left.
Steering wheel is way off.
Now it's very hard to figure out why the Ferrari hit us so hard. It's very possible that the 36 here was just slowing early into the Mulsanne corner, or the Ferrari, which was just behind the number 36 here, was blindsided and did not actually see the turn coming up, and that's why the collision. Now we should see that Ferrari come into the pits with some damage that needs to be fixed as hard as he hit the number 36 here. I think it would only make sense. We're not actually racing with him at this point. Again, he is just about 3 laps ahead of us. Yes, that is Pierre Guidi in the number 51 that hit us. And he was actually in the lead. So the damage is on the left front suspension as he hit us, spun us, and then we hit the barrier.
Major suspension damage here. Still have our wheel.
Definitely going to have to come in and have this repaired right now. And I think we still had about 1/3, if not a half, of a stint left of fuel and virtual energy.
Yeah,
There is a
Ferrari
car in the
drove
background,
off.
spinning around.
That was, oh no. Showing that Fuoco is in the pits. I don't see him though. Oh, that must be him leaving right now.
So very fortunate to make it into the pits after that very big hit from the Ferrari into the Mulsanne corner. And 78 seconds worth of repair for the damage that was done as a result of that crash. 6 hours and 9 minutes with 2 seconds left in the race to go. It is 7:39 p.m. here at the Circuit de la Sarthe, and it's going to be nightfall pretty soon. If you've made it this far, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next segment.